Hi, y'all. I'm back. Oh, hold on, let's turn that. Okay. So, we're going to be discussing alchemy, colors, and the curse of Thoth. So, as you come in, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of reading and I came to a lot of things that I wanted to discuss during this time because of what's happening. My videos are up to what time it is, like what we're dealing with. So if y'all get the date, if y'all are going to be watching this in the future, it's relevant to the time that's happening. Okay, so right now we're going through a shift, and when I say a shift, I mean a literal shift of reality. And I'll just show you two worlds merging together as one, crossing each other, the cross, and the energies involved need to really be understood. And so I'm just going to show you a picture of what we're actually going through at this time, just so that you can understand and get a visual. If I can find it, it is basically two worlds coming into one. And we're in the midsection or about to make a midsection cross right about now. And hold on one second, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let me bring it up for you so that we can look at it together. Um, Here we go. So this is Rihanna's album artwork. Okay, so this would be two worlds coming together as one, and then the color in the middle would be the green. It also looks like an eye. So, green eyes. This, I think Erica Badu sings a song and she says, I have green eyes because I eat my vegetables. But basically, this is what it looks like when the two become one. And we're in the crossing right now. We're in this area right now. And this is why there's so many issues and things that are going on because two are becoming one. Now, if you understand alchemy, you said the heart chakra. If you understand alchemy and the colors and whatnot, which I will go into, you will understand why a lot of people are suffering right now. So let me just read it to you out of the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson. I'm going to be on page 140. It says, for when two have become one and one have become the all, let me just hold up the photo. For when two have become one and one has become the all, know ye the barrier has lifted, and ye are made free of the road. Grow thou from form to the formless. Free may thou be of the road. Thus, through ages I listened, learning the all to the all. Learning the way to the all. I'm sorry. Lift I my thoughts to the all thing, the all seeing eye. I'm adding the all seeing eye thing in because of the picture, but it says, lift I my thoughts to the all thing. List ye and hear when it calls, O light all prevailing. Okay, so now that you see this, when he talks about be free of the road, it means be free of being on a certain path, on a certain label, on a certain frequency. Be free from that by being the all. Okay. And then he speaks about that. And so this is what time it is right now. And let me skip a few verses where Thoth talks about, now to thee I give warning. Let not the thought turn away. Know that the brightness flows through the body, for I Turn not to the dark brothers that come from the brothers of black, but keep thine eyes ever lifted, thy soul in tune with the light. Take ye this wisdom and heed it, list to my voice and obey. Follow the pathway to brightness, and thou shalt be one with the way. So during this time, yes, Pisces Visca, during this time, this green area would represent the people. Okay, so this at this area, this would represent the all, and having both sides of the story, having both sides of the knowledge. And as this crosses this and become one, um, that's when you will know this and that's when you will know that. But then as it parts again into the future, which it will, then it's the same thing but in reverse. So in order to stay from quote unquote the curse of Thoth, you must stay in the middle ground, in the balance. In alchemy, the color for Libra is green for balance. So you must stay in the balance. Do you believe in afterlife, spirit world, mind, mod, past 99? Yes, I do. The plasma, our souls become energy. I sure do. And they stay conscious as well. So I surely do believe in the afterworld. Sprinkle. Definitely believe in that. Thank you. So keep your eyes ever lifted. That means always look up and look to the sky to see what time it is, because this is how we know when things start to change, and when shifts start to occur. Here's the book. You can get this on Amazon. It's Billy Carson's book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, The Beginner's Guide. Okay, so also the curse is not being mindful of this happening in the crossing and what needs to be remembered. Okay, so the curse, a lot of people ask me, oh, it says that Black people were cursed, and the Bible talks about this curse of Cain and the curse of da da da, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna go deep into that because a lot of people have asked me that, and something that Jay-Z says, the gift and the curse. The gift and the curse. Okay, so the gift and the curse depends on what time it is. Okay, it depends on what's going on into the heavens. It depends on all of that. Okay, so yes, the gift and the curse depends on the veil in the sky, the angle and the light coming into the planet. That is what creates the gift or the curse. So what Thoth is telling you, that's why he was saying, keep thine eyes to the, keep thine eyes to the light, keep up, means remember that the heavens are going to change and that you need to be able to also change with it in order to stay woke, basically. And so, in order to stay woke, basically, you need to stay in a certain frequency, and that's that green frequency in the middle, so that when these shifts occur, you are at ease, and nothing is harsh, nothing is too aggressive for you, and you're good. Right. It reminded me of a song because I was listening to a song earlier. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Boogie is the frequency, and how the frequency affects you and your mind and your actions. So green means balance. Yes, it means in the middle. So you can neither be affected if you are balanced. But if you are one way, you're affected, and if you're another way, you're very affected. So that's why in the Bible they considered some people cursed due to the color of their skin, because they were not able to receive certain information, or they were not able to get the amount of sun needed to activate their kundalini rising and their higher consciousness and all this and that, So they practiced the art of staying in the middle so that their eye could always be lifted, or that they could always receive the information no matter what time it was, no matter what the sky looked like, and no matter how dark it got or how bright it got. They were able to receive the knowledge and stay aware and look over at all those things that were happening. So that is the curse that Thoth speaks about, and that is also the secret that Thoth speaks about, is staying somewhat in the middle so that you can always receive the knowledge, get the information, and continue to not be controlled or manipulated by, the frequencies. Okay. Um, there was another song that's an old school song. If some of y'all like old school music, Sam Cooke, Bring It On Home. That song is about the same thing, because there's code words that mean certain things. Okay, so Money in the Grave is also about the same thing. So very, very interesting. Okay. Um, who that's my song, man. What? I like the song. Okay, so I think the alchemical colors go according to the zodiac in some aspects. I also want to show you this. Okay, so y'all know how I'll get into that later, but let me show you what I'm talking about with the zodiacs. Okay, so and as far as alchemy and the zodiacs are concerned with the colors, green would be Libra, which are the scales, are the balance. Okay. Blue would be Sagittarius, and yellow would be Leo, which is the sun. Okay. Then we have Gemini, which are the two suns, because orange represents Gemini. And then we have red, which is Aries. That's why we have red um, and Aries go together. And then we have violet being Aquarius, and then red violet being Pisces. So um, during the shift, you can see all these colors when the two earths or the two worlds become one. These are the alchemical colors that are showing you what time it is and what the sky is and blah 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 blah. So that's why we say the red dawn is the time before sunrise, which means when the sun rises, or when the lion becomes the king again, or when the top becomes the bottom, or when this veil is lifted and these people's curse is lifted, and then the curse falls upon their opposites. But then you always have the people in the middle who escape the curse because they're both and they are the one. Like they could become um, the green aspect, or the Libra, or the scales, or the balance. So it's interesting because that's what they called Neo, the one on Matrix. Okay. And so the matrix is basically a code or a mothership. And when it moves and gives birth to, a new world, it's like passing through. And then if you watched what I posted earlier about um, the movie Independence Day. I posted a post on my community section where they were trying to get past the force field on the little alien spaceship, and they would shoot like they were trying to shoot a Coke can off of it, and the force field would not let the bullet penetrate. And so Jeff Goldblum gave the force field or the system a virus, and after he disabled it, he was able to shoot because its defenses were down. And so he says, well, all we have to do is go to the main mothership and put a virus on the mothership, and the signals from that mothership will then come down and disarm and take down the systems of all the little, drones and spaceships. So I compared that to, the coronavirus. If you take down the main, system of protection, then which is the veil and that's in the sky. Well, we had to take that down in order to do the crossing into the, to the next dimension, and to the cross, into the shift. All the defenses are down, the immune systems are lowered. So when you give something a virus to take down its immune system, then it's basically open open field. And so I did post that scene so that y'all could see the similarities. So that's kind of what's happening now. When the two worlds are crossing, when the two dimensions are crossing, when the two illusions are crossing, um, the force field or the field around the earth or the magnetosphere has to be disrupted or taken down so that this cross can happen. Okay. So it's kind of like taking two lights. It's kind of like taking two lights and putting them over each other to make a new light, a new color. Okay. But in order to do that, you must take off. You see how this has an arc over it? It's a different angle. It's at a different angle of light. So it's like you have to take off the atmosphere or the magnetosphere in order to allow the beyond to come in, or the all to come in, to create a new world. So during this shift, which is what's happening now, the shift, um, that's why a lot of people are getting sick, because there is a lot of things coming in. The red dawn is a lot of dust from other planets coming in, and then they're trying to hide the sky from you guys, and because the sun, and it's, that hole in the middle is looking a lot like the donut earth that we spoke about. So, we're having all of this transition, and they're trying to tell you guys to stay inside, separate yourselves, blah, 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 blah. Because if, you know, you stay inside and separate yourselves, you're going to be with, most likely, a similar frequency of your own. So, like families, you're going to be in a similar frequency. And so it's going to be easier for you to make the transition in a similar frequency as you, rather than a opposite frequency, or a frequency that is um you know one, and then it's going to be a lot of just open things that are not explained easily. If you read this book, let me get it for you. Now, where did I put it? Sorry, y'all. So this book goes deeply into it, but it's, you have to know how to decode to kind of understand what's going on. One with the all, and all with one. Flow thou to me through the channel. Enter thou, so that I may be free. Make me one with the all soul, shining from the blackness of night. Free let me be of all space time, free from the veil of the night. I, a child of light, command. So free from the darkness to be formless. Da, 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 da. So basically, this is basically giving the energy of the one, the all, and free of space time, um, to this master. Because he says, know that thou art the master. All else is brought from within. Grow thou to realms of brightness. Hold thou thought to the light. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Know thou art one with the cosmos, a flame of the child of the light. So through this transition, you know, you're going to be one. Know that you're one with the cosmos. Understand. That's why I say you have to create your own reality. You can't be afraid. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to da 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 da. Everybody's going to die. This is the end of the world. Or is it? Or is it? Is it the beginning? The snake that eats his own tail, the magician, the one that creates, the one that is one with the all. So if you've read my book, How to Manifest with Dark Energy, I kind of explain it as if you command what you want. You don't ask, you don't beg, because you are one with the all. And so you're not supposed to ask or beg, because you are that. So you create what you want to see. You determine what's going down. You determine what's going on. And I spoke about this yesterday in my video. So right now, with all this fear going around and people being sick and A, B, C, and D, if you are one with the all, if you are one of self, if you are one with the darkness and the light, if you are one with the blue, the purple, and whatever else colors are on that picture, if you are the green, then you're fine. If you're balanced, you're fine. And so that's why I say you don't really need to be freaking out, because that means you don't know who you are. And Thoth gives you this information. It's just, who are you going to listen to? Who are you going to listen to in this time? And I was emailed and written to that Trump was saying this is a drill or something, or this is a trial, or this is a drill or whatnot. And I was like, yeah, it sure is a drill. And if you follow me on Instagram, y'all already saw my drill post. It sure is a drill. Okay. A drill is a power tool or machine with a rotating cuffing tip for reciprocating something, or chisel, used to make a hole. Used to make a hole. Instructions on training, military exercise. Okay, so to produce a hole, to drill a hole through. So we have donut Earth, we have a drill, and we have the planet. And then it says, we'll get through this. Okay, so I made this little thing with the definition. And of course, it's a drill. They're creating the fourth dimension through this drill. And I had someone on my other video in the comments talking about you're not supposed to trick people. Nothing good comes of tricking people. It only causes more confusion. Well, here's the thing. Thoth was a trickster god, and so was a lot of other gods. And if you don't trick a lot of people when there's a shift or something like this occurring, because they don't have this information or they don't understand it, they're going to be lost. They're not going to know what's happening, So you have to basically, yes, a lot of people had to trick the masses. People had to trick the masses because they can't just get on CNN and explain this. You can't just do that. You have religious people. You have people that are atheist. You have people that are conspiracy theorists. There are too many different belief systems to get on CNN and explain that the earth is transitioning and shifting into a higher dimension and frequency. And the crossover, or the cross, or, the coming of one has taken down our veil of protection. And if you're getting sick because we're spraying clouds and, a lot of stuff is coming in that you can't handle, well, good luck to you. So they can't really get up there and tell people. This is the book by Billy Carson, The Emerald Tablets. Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. You can get it on Amazon. So when they can't get up there and just tell people what's happening, because if you have the Emerald Tablets, it's just the Emerald Tablets, but this is like a guide as well. But if you can't just get up there and tell people what's going on, because in some religions it's the end of their world, because it is the end of the world for some people, because they're not going to make it to the next world. And then it's the beginning for other people. It's the rise for some people and the fall for others. So they can't just get up there and say, look, it might not be too good for you. It might be better for you. You might die. Hopefully you make it. They can't just get up there and do that. So they have to trick and fool the world. And that's what they did. And it's not funny, but I have a lot of people that don't understand why. That's exactly why. Because they don't understand. hmm That's exactly why. They don't have time to sit up here and explain to you and have religious people marching on Washington and arguing and, starting some crazy other stuff. They'd rather have you believe whatever you choose. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have time to sit up here and give you the information that they tried to hide from you for so long to keep you blind and sleep. Okay. So it was up to you, and it was up to you as an individual to seek this knowledge on your own time. Okay. They're not responsible for your soul or your knowledge. They're responsible for whatever you put them responsible for. Um, so yeah. hmm And after the shift or after this whole thing, then things will align and be great, and those who make it through are going to understand so many things that they didn't understand before. They're going to wake up to new information. Things are just going to get on a whole different level. Okay. And until way in the future when they start to move apart again, if they start to move apart again. Okay. Um, and I'll show you all my other thing that I made, because I try to put code in my stuff. Even though it's silly, I still try to put code in it. So I'll show you all my MJ thingamajig. Okay, so this is on my Instagram. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all check it out. So I made this on Snapchat, and then I put it on Instagram. So this is a chart of what's going on. Okay, can y'all see that? Okay. So it's close to midnight. That's a clock that says midnight. At 3 o'clock, okay, this is a clock basically. So this is the clock. At noon, at midnight, there's little Mike. Okay, that's him in his birth form. He's the sun. At 3 o'clock, it's reversed on the screen, but at 3 o'clock, here's Mike during the Thriller era. Okay. At 6 o'clock, here's Smooth Criminal dancing with the moon. Okay, if y'all know the story of Thoth dancing with the moon and taking a bit of its light into him to remain conscious or to avoid the curse. And now y'all see him up here with his new look, slam dunking the ball close to midnight. So he's stuck, he's in the middle, and he's this is starry night, and there's three, big stars in the sky. There's probably the sun or three stars, and looking like two or three suns or whatnot, and these a bunch of clouds, right? So starry night is what the sky kind of looks like now. So that's why I chose that. So right before midnight, my MJ dunks his ball in and the sun returns. So that's the alchemy of that. The moon aspect was when he was going through his vitiligo and lightening of his skin so that he could receive the information through that was coming in. Okay. And then I also posted this one where it looks like he's a spinning clock and he's trying to rewind the time. So, and the song that I put on there, because I put songs on here. Let me see. I'll take you there. So if you listen to the lyrics to I'll Take You There, they're very telling. And then on this song, I used, let's see, on this song, I used Rick Ross. It's for the soldiers that see the sun at midnight. Okay, so that's called Freemason, basically. That song by Rick Ross and Jay-Z. So, in alchemy, the color of green represents Libra scales and the balance. The scales. So the shift, the alchemy colors, and Rihanna's album cover, or I don't know if this is her album cover. It says "Believe It." That means it's going down. It's happening now. Believe it. Party Next Door, Rihanna's new song, "Believe It." Okay. And so when we get, see, it's midnight right here. You see this circle right here? It's midnight. The red gets on the top. So your creative chakra, or your red chakra, your root chakra will rise to the top, and you will start creating from here instead of from here. Your mind will start the creative process of creating from passion versus, the lower half creating. You know what I mean? Like sexually. It's going to become more spiritual and mental creation versus sexual creation. Okay. And that color, because they're going to be the red and the blue, when it finally merges at the top, when it hits this peak right here, it's going to become purple, the purple rain. Okay. And that's what Prince was speaking about. So I only want to see you bathing in your purple rain. Never wanted to be your weekend lover. So according to, now let's talk about the physical aspect of this. According to what time it is, when they're doing the interracial, mixing, is so that you can be in the green, or you can become green, like the Hulk was on the end games. He was the balance. Remember when he was like all balanced and he had his little glasses on and he was really into his science, but he could still, tear stuff apart if he chose to. So it was basically that aspect of what's going on. He was part of that whole shift. He was right in the middle of everything. Everything kind of depended on Hulk and what he was doing. And so the green represented that balance that was needed at the time. Okay. The chakras have reversed. Exactly. The head has become the tail, and the tail has become the head. And it also is reflected in the cosmos. So this is what's happening now. This is why there's a virus, because the protection shields are down, and the shields are down and the protections are down. So those who are getting sick because they were not, because they were vulnerable, I'll just say that they were vulnerable. That's what's going. You said Rona symbol and spaceship. If y'all, Sasha wanted me to buy this today from Target. She said this looks like the coronavirus. It's like, this is the Rona. So I bought it for her. Anyway, and wouldn't you know, it's green. And the virus emoji is green, right? Anyway. And sometimes they show it as blue and red. So there you go. So after the shift is completed, they already said that they plan on losing a certain amount of people. They let me tell y'all something. I know there's so much conspiracy surrounding this, and by now everyone knows or should know it's a conspiracy. They knew this was coming. They knew, okay? They already knew. You already knew they knew because there's too many signs that they knew. So, knowing that they knew, let me ask you a question. Do you still feel like you have power? Do you still feel like there's a need to vote? I'm just going to ask, do y'all still feel that there is a need to believe things that come out of their mouth unless you're decoding them? Do you believe it? Brianna says, believe this. And she's a Pisces, and this is the Pisces Vesica. And she says, believe it. And she also has green hazel eyes, which is interesting. And then it says the party next door. Okay. If we're here, then this is next door. This is the party next door. Okay. Rihanna and the party next door. Okay. So you say you never believe them. That's good. You all don't have to believe it. What you should believe is that they will trick the masses. And the reason that they will trick the masses is because while we were in the separate state, and while some of us were not fully aware or conscious of any, of any of this, they needed you to work, to run things, to keep them on top, A, B, C, and D. So of course, they're not going to want you to know any of this. But I know, through reading and searching for knowledge that many people figured it out, maybe just in time or close to the time or whenever. But the point is they're never going to tell you. Okay. And they're never going to tell you. You have to know this and seek it on your own. And so this is why I feel that people that trust their government and rush to do whatever they tell them, they're not very wise. Okay, they're not very wise at all. They're not very wise at all. So, and y'all are so worried about teams. It's there. You're on your own team, baby. You know what I'm saying? You are your own team. You become one with self. And that means you seek knowledge of self, and then you are obviously going to know. So you are on your own team. Right. The reason why you have to be tricked is because, they're not going to tell you the truth because there's too many different opinions. Just like when we try to discuss something and you read the comments, you have people with different levels of consciousness, different beliefs spiritually, and it would erupt in too much controversy. So they just go ahead and tell you the easiest thing that you will believe. Okay. And like I said, by Easter, this thing should be complete. So the resurrection, the Passover, this is what they were speaking of. So, and Trump keeps saying, oh, by Easter, this should be over, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, the shift should be almost complete by Easter. And, but the people are so scared and they have to cover their tracks by extending out the worry. Because if you know exactly when something is going to end, then you know when it was going to start. And then you know that it was going to happen. So obviously you can't be too precise. Poor Trump. He be trying to tell y'all, but y'all don't be listening. So they had to extend the quarantine out a couple of more weeks. Okay. They got to extend it out a few more weeks. And whatnot, just so and also they forgot to have like a bunch of people dying in their house and being found dead of corona. You have to go to the hospital and get tested first before you can be found, before you can die. So they're just not like random people laying around their house dead of corona. So, to me, they're just using whatever methods they can to keep people calm but informed of something. They just have to give you something. They just have to give you something as to what's going on so you don't pay attention to certain things. They have to give you something. And the easiest thing to give people is an illness. Okay? The easiest thing to give people worldwide, because the whole world is going through the shit. But the easiest thing to give someone is a pandemic worldwide. Okay? And to keep them from asking too many questions. Right. So, you know how they keep saying everyone stay inside, stay inside, stay inside. They're trying to keep your frequency on a certain frequency to see who's supposed to make it or not. Okay? This is a drill. This is a trial. A trial is what? It's in court. It's a judgment. It's a purge. Y'all know what they were playing on TV today? I forgot what channels. One of them cable channels. Purge the election year or something like that. And I was watching it, and it's all coded. It's exactly what's going on now. They're purging. They are using this as a purge. Okay, whoever can get through gets through. And then there'll be a shift in the direction that things are going to go in as well. So, um, mhm. There's going to be an uprise in seeing a certain type of people thrive and become more creatively intellectual, and then the opposite. Uh, there's going to be also people, being more lower natured, as far as because the chakras have flipped. Okay. Beyonce's song "Superpowers" about this. Yeah, I saw that video. Sure is. Is that why she's wearing green? Yep. Um. Right. Yeah. All MJ songs are all code. Yes. Yes, for sure. You. Um. The ball flipped, like you said. Yep. So now that that's happening, you know, if you go to like I said this in so many videos, if you go to the store and look at the magazine shelf, you'll see a lot more people of color on the covers. Like if you go back last year, you won't see it. Go back 1 year ago and go and then think about what you saw the last time you saw a shelf of magazines. Or think about a year ago when you were watching commercials. Think about who you saw on the commercials and now who you see, you know. So it's almost like they're also shifting that image as well. Mhm. 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 Yeah. You said America's now the copper race. And it's interesting that copper turns green when it's oxidized. Um, it's interesting that the Statue of Liberty is green but is copper at the same time. Um, it's interesting that that's where immigrants come in through Ellis Island. It's interesting that New York is being really hit hard, and it's very interesting. Okay. It's also interesting that the shift is taking place, and as it gets closer and closer to, you know, where we are, yes, got to be careful of, your current state of health. If your health is not good, if you have bad habits, if you did not balance yourself health wise, that's also going to be a problem. Okay. hmm When will the shift be completed? They said by Easter, the resurrection, the Easter, you know, we're going through the Passover now. That's why the symbol of Jesus was the fish, because the Pisces Vesica, and then the color of the Pisces in alchemy is red violet. That's why we have the purple skies and the red skies, because it's the Pisces Vesica, and the Passover, um, and the merge and the shift. And so things are going to change. Change gonna come. Um, I'm a Pisces too. And like Erica Badu, she left. I know she's very super coded, and she's a Pisces too, y'all. She was clapping back at people in her comments, like I do, because they were telling her not to be a fear monger and because of what she wrote. But what she wrote was in code. It wasn't. I'm just gonna read it to you because I know the code. I can see. So she posted. Of course, here's the picture. Red. Of course, all red, red, red. Her daughter has on green. They have on a bird. They have a bird, like, Thoth. She has a t-shirt with some green on it. Erica Badu have green eyes. She's highlighting her eyes. Come on. We got it, baby. We got it. So I do anyway. So she has brick wall in the back because some people ain't gonna get through the brick wall. Okay, so here we go. This is not a drill. We are here. I'm reading you what she wrote. Erica Badu says, this is not a drill. We are here. That means we are already in the shift. This is now. Take care of yourselves. Don't ignore this pandemic. Okay. Don't ignore the shift, because a pandemic is a worldwide thing that affects the entire world. Don't ignore this shift. Dallas, in all caps. Now, when you put stuff in all caps, it means define the word, pick it apart, get the etymology, and decode it. Okay, this is what I've learned. Dallas means a open meadow or an open field. An open meadow or an open field is an open field in the sky. Okay. The storm will not simply pass over our house. We are next in line. We're next. We love you. Be calm, but be prepared. We got this. Okay, so yeah, Erica been on it. We already know that. That's why I love Erica. She is just cold with the code. And so you can see her clapping back at people underneath because they don't have any idea. Um, Stop acting as if this isn't more than that's what she's saying. I don't know. Someone wrote that. I know it's no matter what we believe, what powers that be believe will affect us. So basically, she's saying whatever we believe is the powers that will affect us. So we're in that transition where instant manifestation occurs. Frequency is very important right now. And I was saying that yesterday. And she says, keep immune system up, protect yourself and family against germs. Baby, you know what to do just like the rest of us. What's the deal? Do it. Stop ignoring this. So basically, she's saying, be healthy. Stop eating that stuff. Y'all know what time it is. And so, I can read between her lines because I don't know. I guess we just know what we're talking about as far as that code is concerned. But we are here. It's happening. We are in the shift. And if you look below, my merch been up there for a year and a half probably. My merch says I survived the shift. The other one says the plasma. So if y'all want to buy some merch now, so y'all can it's been up there for a long time because we knew it was coming. Oh, it has the earth on it. You can buy it now. It's in black and white. Okay, so for those of you who've been with me for a while, y'all understand what I'm saying. Um, for the rest of the people, it's time to wake up and get this information so that you can know it. It'll be in your DNA. You can teach it to your kids, so forth and so on, and they can pass it down. Hopefully, it won't get lost again. I don't know, but keep it and keep it up because a lot of people are very lost right now and have no idea what's happening, what's going on, and I think it's just wise to always know what goes on. Ooh, book recommendations about the plasma. Wait. Any book about physics, quantum physics, any book about matter. It's just the fourth state of matter. That's all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Also, what a soul is made of. Um, Also, what lightning is. Also, gamma rays, cosmic rays. There you go. I'll keep putting my energy towards health, peace, and prosperity. This book explains a lot of things, the plasma as well. It's The Rock of Ages, a new edition by Roz Ben. This is on Amazon as well. It's called Rock of Ages by Roz Ben. This goes into the plasma and all the things that are happening right now, the shift, blah, 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 blah. Very, very interesting. That book will take you very, very deep. So lots of knowledge. So, right now that shift is happening. Lots of jobs are being lost, lots of lives are being lost, and lots of things will be available in the future because of the shift and AKA the purge. I believe in the Bible it says their houses will be empty and you will be able to take them over or something like that. I don't know. Like, I don't remember the verse. I just remember reading it somewhere. It could have been the book of Enoch. I don't remember. But it's one of them books. And they were talking about how, the houses will be empty and you will be able to take over or walk right into it. Basically, what that's saying is that there will be room made for you. Uh-huh. And okay, so the curse of Thoth, let's talk about that. The curse of Thoth goes either way. If you go too far this way or too far that way, you will lose at one point as far as your frequency is concerned. So if you are, mm, let's say you marry and mix out of your race and you're brown, you know, when this type of shift happens, you're going to be out of luck. And let's say you're brown, no, let's say you're bright and you mix into darker races towards the next shift, if there is one, because we determine that. So if there's another shift that will reveal the earth and then, the darker skin will start to reverse the chakras, then that will also be a curse as far as not being able to have your same mentality because it's going to flip again. So that they tell you to stay in the middle so that you can receive both at all times, the middle ground. And so, right. Yes. Are we good? Right. Mhm. So the copper, what they're saying, the copper is probably going to be the love, which is the Venus planet. So, put it together. Everything, the heart chakra is green. The right. And so the alchemy colors, the shift, the curse, the copper color, the pushing of merging as one as a people. Um, if that were to stay that way, if it were to stay that way, the shift would probably not have to reoccur, and it would just stay there. And if it did reoccur, nothing would really change. You see, time would no longer exist because nothing would have to change. Right. Hmm. Thoth definition: the children of God, ciphers above and below the children of God. Okay. Space time, cyberspace is real space. Space time is it's space and time. Okay, so that would represent leaving a certain level of the dimension of consciousness. So after 4D, you can be at any space at any time, 60, 70. So basically, the space time is where your space is at a certain time. Um, but if you're on the quantum level, like if you're quantum, you're everywhere at the same time. You are the one, you are the all. Okay, so it talks about when the one becomes like, you know, when two becomes one, that is the space time. You become time and space, which means you become the all. Okay. Hmm. And so, in order to remain on a certain level of consciousness, this is what Thoth was speaking about. A lot of people asked, you know, why is there such a discrepancy on, treatment of people? The lower you are, the higher you are. It depends on the shift. It depends on the sky. It depends on the veil. It depends on the frequency. It depends on all of these things. And so this is where a lot of these things stem from, but no one tells you or no one understands, or if they do, it's in the hidden mysteries and whatnot. So when you have certain systems like the Hindu system, and they rate people due to the color of their skin and their caste in society, it's based on level of consciousness, it's based on the frequency, it's based on a shift, it's based on all of these things. And it then became, seen as, something to judge people by. Then it became prejudice, then it became racism, then it became this, light against dark, black against white. So when you realize that it's just a shift that determines this, and that the green or the balance or the Libra scales or the balance is where, if you were, becoming one, that when the two become one, there would be no caste system. There would be no, and it just goes back to everybody must become one in order to avoid a curse, a fall, or a rise, basically, or deaths, or things like that. Okay. Veil, frequency, paradigm, consciousness. Yep, all viewed at one. That's right. Thoth is the Egyptian god of wisdom. True, true. So only we get We only get sun in Michigan for about an hour after that. No fear transformation, right? So, where am I buying these magical necklaces and Thanos rings? Everywhere. I made this ring. This I got at Earthbound. This I got at infinitetreasures.org. This I got at a thrift store long ago. So I have a lot of, and crystals, stones, you know, things like that can also help your energy and your frequency at this time. So wear your stuff. I have a crown. Ugh, I'm trying to get it. I bought this at also a thrift store, and I thought it was interesting because it was like just sitting there, and like, wow, are these a real stone? Hmm, it's a crown. Shall I wear it? It has an adjustable link. I don't know if I think it goes down like this. Let me see if I can put it on. I have to adjust it. But yeah, it's I just found this sitting there. It was like some stuff is waiting on me. Do you think what do I think about the 12 tribes? Um, yeah. Well, in I think that has, a lot of significance to it, but they reduced it down to 3. Those they were supposed to all become 3 or 5 or something like that. When they're all supposed to reduce down to 5 or 3 eventually. Oh, there we go. I'm Or is it supposed to go the other way? They're supposed to reduce down in the number. Mhm. Yep. I think I read that in one of those books that I showed y'all. Oh. Yeah, those tribes are supposed to reduce down into less tribes. That means they were supposed to mix and come together. Hey, this was just sitting over there. I was like, I feel weird wearing this. So I'm taking it off anyway. Go back together, right? Okay, so here, look. Okay, so I'll explain it with Independence Day. Jeff Goldblum, Jewish dude. Will Smith, African American dude, right? They're the ones that have to go up and put the virus onto the mothership. Okay, they have to go together. Will got to fly because y'all know he's the melanin, and Jeff Goldblum got the virus because he's the computer dude. So they got to go up there together. They got to infect the motherboard or the matrix. They got to infect the matrix. Then they got to come back. So that's part of the whole thing. You were asking the 12 tribes. Those were two coming together. Um, whatnot. They were all working as a team as the army that was symbolic of the 12 tribes coming together as one, and then all the countries coming together as one to defeat the alien invader or whatnot. And so that was also symbolic of them all coming together. And right. And Will Smith marrying the stripper Vivica Fox, and she had the son. That was the Holy Trinity. Okay. Um, so it's very interesting. I need to watch it again. And the dude that had to sacrifice himself, just like an Iron Man, was that drunk dude, was it Roseanne Barr's ex-husband that got abducted by aliens? His little bullet or his bomb didn't work, so he had to sacrifice himself. That was symbolic of the fall in order to s- unite and have independence in the world. So the whole, like all movies are the same over and over and over and over and over. Every movie is about the same thing, but they tell it in a different manner. Yeah, Tom Arnold. Tom means twin, right? Thomas, twin. So it was the it was it was him sacrificing himself going down as the clock struck midnight. Now he had to go back, had to go down to the six. Um, I am glad I found your channel. I learned so much from you, and I learned I need to find my own knowledge. Yes, please find y'all's own knowledge. I always tell you guys, don't believe what I say. Go do the research. But a lot of people don't have time to do the research, and I guess they trust me enough to believe some of what I say, and that's good. But if you do have the time, please do it so that you can also raise your frequency, because learning it raises your frequency even higher than just believing it. Knowing it or feeling it resonate within helps you to vibrate on a higher frequency. Okay. Um, mhm. How to connect more spiritually and enter the spiritual realm. Um, there's okay, so I was at Target. I'm gonna answer your question. There had these houses, like I think they were Lego houses or something. I can't remember. But anyway, you build them up. They're a toy, and there's this light that you shine on it. And when you shine your light on the house, you could see ghosts and different colors that you can't see without this light shining on it. So to me, you are already in the spirit realm. You're just unable to see or connect with it because you're on a different frequency in a different spectrum. So if you would like to connect more with any type of spiritual realm, you must start to communicate with that realm on this realm, which means talk, speak, call in. A lot of people do altars and put out offerings and light candles in order to connect. So acknowledge it, call it in. And as you raise your frequency towards that reality, if you start working with that reality until you are able to commune with it or see it or interact with it, that's what you got to do. It takes a little time, but you'll be able to do it. You ever notice when you start messing with things that connect you to the spiritual realm, that strange things start happening? You're right there. It's always been there, and but now you're getting ready to interact with it more because you're on that frequency. And when you stop, then that also stops. Okay. There are side effects to that though, because when you do such things, you can't be afraid because like I said, you will get the interaction. So if you're afraid, don't like learn as much as you can so that there's no fear. And so when you start getting those interactions, you don't get so afraid that you begin to think it's evil. Okay. So you gotta learn as much as you can and understand that you are the one that allows and commands those frequencies to be part of your reality. Okay. If you don't have that authority and your fear rules you, Learn as much as you can before you start to do that. Okay. You said the twilight zone, right? Like, I don't have any type of fear for that. I will play with a Ouija board, spirit board. I will play with tarot cards. I will do my pendulum. I will play with my ghost app. I will call stuff out because I'm not afraid of it. Never have been, never will be. You know what I'm saying? So, not afraid. If you are afraid, that means you need to learn more. Because I know what it is scientifically, I know what it is frequency-wise, I know what it is on the light spectrum, I know what it is in the astral realm, I know what it is scientifically, which is plasma, energy, information. I know all of it what it is. I know it has to do with moisture in the air. I know it has to do with the amount of heat and fire, and I know why people put water out and candles out and food out on altars to gather energy to manifest itself in this realm. I know all of that, so why would I be afraid? Okay, so you said levels for sure. It's lots of levels, but the more you do it and the more you learn about it, the fear goes. There is no fear. What? I don't get into superstition. I decode whatever it is, and I'll break it down scientifically. You know, if you can't break it down and decode, you'll be forever scared. Okay, that's why I say you got to get this information. You got to learn symbolism. You got to learn metaphor. You have to learn etymology. You know, have to learn how to decode science, all of that, because it just takes the fear right away. There is no more fear because you can just decode what it is. Mhm. And it's not something like, "Oh, I'm all that," because I don't even really talk about that, and someone asked me that question, so I just shared how I deal with it and how I connect. If I wanna connect, sometimes you don't wanna connect, sometimes you do, sometimes you feel like you do and whatever, and then you do. Sometimes you just wanna do something different and learn about something else and focus on that, so. And that's one thing about spirituality. You don't have to do everything all at the same time. You can take a break from communing with, you know, spirits to focus on raising your knowledge and your frequency if that's what you choose to do at this time. You don't have to be the same as you were 2 years ago, 5 years ago, because your path will lead you to different places, and it's up to you to keep going. Some people stay stuck where they're at, and they're not learning anymore, and they're not getting any more knowledge, and therefore, when times start changing, their fears start increasing again because they did not keep up with their knowledge and they did not gain the wisdom that they should have been gaining. You already know how to do A, B, C, and D. You know how to do spell work. You know how to communicate with the spirit realm, A, B, C, and D. Okay, what don't you know how to do? Well, then get to it. You know, so we can't stay stuck on something that we've already kind of mastered or, you know, done well enough on. We got to keep moving. Um, but I do leave all my old videos up so y'all can see that part as well. Right, right, right. Transmute what? Uh-huh. Shira, do you pay attention to the Illuminati? No, because I know what all that code is for. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that none of that is anything to fear if you know how to decode. Where can you get authentic crystals? I don't know if you have a shop around where you live. I do sell crystals on my website, Dark Realm Online Occult Shop, but they're not going to be shipping until like May 4th or something like that, or April, no, April 4th, April 4th, because of the corona. But anywhere, like I find them online, Etsy, Amazon. You can just, some people sell them because they dug them up. More likely to find like eBay and stuff like that. Just look for authentic crystals and then put where you want them to be from, like Brazil, and then some will pop up. But they're heavy, so you're probably gonna pay a lot if they're the big ones. Right. The dark wheel. I'm not gonna be making any more rings. I don't even know how I made this one, y'all. I must have been in a mode. I must have been channeling because I don't know. I'm serious. Like I must have been channeling when I made this because I cannot remake this. Don't know how I did it. Maybe I need to rechannel. um, that's a rose quartz, yeah. My favorite crystal, eh, I have so many. They change at different times. I love lapis lazuli. I love labradorite. A rose quartz, of course. But I love this stone. This is a good stone for astral travel too. I've been having crazy dreams. Ooh, good dreams though. Prophetic dreams. I had this weird dream and I decoded it. Sasha had a similar dream and it was giving us the same exact message. So I knew that it was on point because um, the message of the dream, I'm not going to tell the dream because people hate hearing other people's dreams because they're boring because I'm bored of them. But the message of the dream was the center. What was her dream? Oh, okay. Her dream was that a lot of people were dying, but a lot of people were dying due to emotional response. That was her dream, decoded. I'm not going to tell you what she dreamed, but when we broke it down, it came down to a lot of people are going to die due to their emotional response or their frequency. My dream boiled down to there will be a time of uncertainty, but if you are rooted deep and you are of a certain frequency, that it is up to you to create what you want to see the ending or the beginning of something new. Basically, yeah, that's what it is. I'll tell you all about the dream later on, but it was just a very weird dream. Um, Actually, if y'all want to hear the dream, it was very quick because I hate telling people dreams because people don't realize that when you tell someone about a dream, you only need to mention the symbolism in the dream and what happened to lead to this. People want to tell the whole story, and that's where people lose you at. They don't want to hear your dreams. You just need to pick out the symbolism in the dream and decode that, and that's what the dream means. Okay. The people in the dreams decode their names or their zodiac. That's it. My dream was I was checking the mail, got out of the car. Sasha accidentally put the car in drive. It's rolling down the street, out of control. I'm jumping the car, but I'm in the back seat, of course. And then I'm I'm looking around, and then when I look back out of the windshield, we are underwater in a lake. And all I see in that windshield is a tree that's growing under the lake. And it's a tree, like a real tree. And then I look at Sasha and I look at Layla because she's in the car too. I was like, Sasha. Her name means defender of man, a defender of man, Sasha. And Layla means darkness or dark beauty. And so I'm looking at Sasha and I'm like, Sasha, look what you did. Now we're all gonna die. And then I look at Layla and then I say, well, this emotional response is not going to be helpful in this time. And so I started to look for the positive in the situation. I said, well, at least we'll die with a good view. At least we'll all die together. At least maybe we can break the window and swim out. And then I started coming up with solutions instead of, oh, we're all going to die. And so Then I woke up and realized it was kind of like that Divergent movie where you have to create your way out. You got to create your way out with logic, with logic, because that's how you're used to operating. Unless you have a wild imagination, and you can do that with kids. So yeah, and so Sasha's dream was we were at a gas station, and this homeless person said that he came up with a cure for corona. And she said that I was arguing with the homeless person because he was trying to give me the cure to corona, and I knocked it out his hand, and it spilled on the ground, and everybody in the area started getting sick. And then she woke up. You have crazy dreams. So we decoded it as, we have to create our way into what we want to see in this reality. We are rooted, we are grounded, we're together, we're the roots, the trees, the water, and the earth. And it's up to us to create our way into what we want to see. And then her dream was be careful who you listen to, who has things for you, and emotional responses to certain things could lead to disaster. Okay. So those were our dreams. A homeless person would be considered someone without a home, someone that did not have a foundation during the shift. Okay. So Sasha and I have similar dreams and the same exact night. Okay. And they were so vivid. Like I know I said a curse word and I don't even curse. In my dream, I like woke up talking. So I know it was very, very, very vivid. It's like that. I must have been very, very upset. Hmm. Child, spiritual goddess, deep. But positive vibes, thank you. Your vegan boys love outside are 30 minutes safe. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Um, they don't eat cheese, they don't do dairy. I would say it's safe as long as they're not deeply inhaling that cloud stuff, because they spray, you know. Um, but if they don't have any mucus, have them eat a lot of fruit like oranges and grapes and things like that because that reduces the mucus in your body. So the less mucus that they have, it's okay. But like I would not have them out on a super cloudy day. It tends to get super cloudy towards sunset and early morning, so like midday probably be the safest. Mhm. Whenever there's the least clouds being sprayed. Yep. Like we eat a lot of fruit, oranges, grapes, strawberries, and stuff like that. We don't do dairy, so our mucus level is pretty much non-existent. If you have a lot of mucus, you really need to get rid of it by stopping the dairy. Mhm. I hate people try to demonize certain words, call them curses. Yeah, it's a curse or a blessing depending on what frequency you're on. See, so just like something good means something bad for someone else. So it just all depends. But it's the same thing for like any polar opposites. There's going to be something, what's good to that person is bad to the other person. You know what I'm saying? If there's no polar opposites, then there is no good or bad. They're just situation. you know. So there's always going to be A curse doesn't have to stay a curse. There's loopholes to things. What do I think about almond milk? I like almond milk. Some in the chat want to really know what stone is on your arm. Labradorite. Labradorite. This is from Infinite Treasures. He will make you a bracelet, or they have bracelets already online. InfiniteTreasures.org. Y'all check them out. They also sell unks. Y'all remember that video I made with the unks? So, thank you, See the Poet. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How do you feel about women cutting their hair, and should it be done according to phases of the moon? I really don't care about cutting your hair. I feel that depending on the hair you have, depending on the frequency that's out, you can connect and have a deeper connection with cosmos. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a connection with cosmos, it doesn't matter if you cut your hair or not. You know what I'm saying? So it just all depends. Is your hair electromagnetic? Does it have melanin in it? Is it able to receive electromagnetic frequencies and information? Blah 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 blah. All of that, it's all science. So do what you want with your hair. If you're not one of the people that is worried about connecting to the cosmos, then it doesn't matter. If you're just worried more about the growth, people cut depending on if it's waning or waxing. If you cut it during waxing, it's supposed to grow. Okay. All right. It's just, that's how people plant trees and gardens and stuff too. Okay. Are the stars in the sky the ancestors? Um, they're the living dead. Yeah, yeah. The starlight that you see, most of those stars are already dead and gone, but their light still shows that their energy still has light here. Hmm. Right, right. You said just remember there are Africans who grow little to no light. That's because they already have melanin in their skin. They are light. You see the difference between I was reading it in this book when they talk about the hair, the skin, the melanin, and stuff like that, how it's a crystal, how it's a light. So, depending on your skin tone, you might not need a lot of hair because you're already electromagnetic frequency and you tap into every light spectrum. You see? So, you might not need your hair. I think that's why a lot of people cut their hair short because they were able to receive through their skin. Hmm. The Holy Bible tells you what the sun, moon, and stars are. It says not to worship them, right? Um, if you know thyself, you would not worship anything, right? That's like you worshiping the light bulb. Yeah. Hey, I said light bulb, and Mac L Bay just put a light bulb, a flashlight, and a candle, right? So you won't have to worship anything if you know who you are. The reason why people worship things is to keep it on up high so you can figure it out later. You know, if like it's just a trick, it's just another trick. Remember when I told you about tricksters? Religion is a trick to keep it on the forefront so that when you finally awake or when the time comes, people will either figure it out or have something to trick them into a frequency to separate, certain people in a frequency. Okay. That's what it's for. Either you figured it out, you asked questions, you looked for knowledge, or you didn't. The people that know better, they're not buying into a lot of the stuff that they're being told right now. The people that don't know any better are in a panic, in a crisis mode and just worried to death. And the people that understand what's happening, that's been knowing, they're not as, you know, concerned or worried. I If you go out, you can see the concern on some people's face and the smile on other people's face. Like, y'all crazy. I'm good. You know. So it's up to you to create what you want to see, and it's up to you to seek knowledge or to receive your instruction from others who have no connection and are not going to tell you a thing because they can't. Okay. Worship thyself. Why are they interested in going to the moon? The moon is symbolic. All this code. hmm This lady is misleading the masses. Well, search souls. Why don't you get up on YouTube and lead them to the right track with all your knowledge and wisdom? I always tell people to do their own research. I don't care if they believe me. That's the beauty about this. I want them to learn for themselves. I don't want them to be a follower. I want them to be a leader. Okay. So I don't have people following me. I have people listening and researching their own information. Okay. So I don't need you a lie. No, the devil is a lie. Rick Ross. The devil is a lie. Right. I listen to what you say, and you use a lot of new age concepts. What is that on purpose? I use concepts from the Bible, from ancient Kemet, from Thoth, from rap, from trap, Michael Jackson, Prince. I use every type of information that I can use to get people to understand. I use quantum physics. I use Lion King references. I mean, I'll use everything. Whatever you got, I will use it. Okay. I use Instagram. I use celebrity posts. What you got, I will use it. Give it to me. Give me some toilet paper. People, and y'all are starting to do it too. Toilet paper is the shape of donut Earth. Toilet paper represents the currency and the fear of losing money. Okay, keep going. Yes, I love it. So we're learning together. I'm not sitting up here holding a class. I get lots of information from people here too. Okay. And I teach as well. And I'm not being mean to you, but when you have the answer, but you don't know how to decode your own holy book, we have to teach you, or you have to ask questions, because if you come at me with the holy scriptures, I will just decode them for you. So come on. I mean, I love to decode. Right. Shira, how do you know crystals aren't cursed though? Um, because it doesn't matter if they're cursed. Your frequency will change their frequency. Is your frequency low or is your frequency high? You charge the crystal, you cleanse the crystal or stone, and then it becomes what you are. The stronger will win. Are you strong? Okay. All right. I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. She was green, so hey. She turned into the plasma at the end. Hey. Sasha likes when I make that face. Dorothy had to put on them red shoes, them red lowers, and click to get back home. She didn't go nowhere. She just went right back on home, back to the farm. Bye. Okay. At least I could fly, and I had a team. I had gang with me. Y'all can't get me. I will just decode you out. I was in control. I had the magic crystal ball. I had flying monkeys. I was more powerful than the Wizard of Oz. They was all trying to they was all afraid of me. All they had to do was pour water on me. I turned into the plasma, disappeared, and I came back and wicked. How you doing? Right. False wisdom. Your wisdom comes from ancient Kemet, but it's just rewritten and whitewashed, but that's okay. You'll be fine. Your daughter has been loving Coraline lately. Yeah, that movie's crazy too, right? Yeah, we watched that. Sasha already decoded that movie. It was good. The Wizard of Oz was a fraud, right? Um, yeah, we watched that movie. Thank you. Shira, you ever heard about what people say about checkered board floors? Um, I don't really care. I know what they say. It's the floor, it's the checkerboard. We play chess, not checkers. It's not red and black, it's white and black. It's chess, not checkers. That means I will see you need to see me coming 3 moves in advance if you're gonna beat me. Don't forget what time it is. Okay? It means stay ahead of the game. It means play chess, not checkers. It means stay woke. It means get this knowledge. It means know thyself. It means know who you're up against. It means control the entire board if you're smart by controlling the mind of the other. Okay. I know what it means. I don't know what they say, but I know what it means. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Yes, it is. Remember that. Now, who is the Lord? When you figure that out, come right back. Okay. Shira, do you know what adrenochrome is? What is it? Is it people have been asking me about that. Yeah, right. Why is it that I have Santa Muerte? You mean the holy death? Well, what does death represent? I decode everything. What is the holy death? The holiest of death. Now I'll keep decoding. I put my money in the grave. Decode money in the grave. There you go. The balance. You know, Santa Muerte holds the scales as well. And she has an owl, which means she could see. She watches. She has the sickle. She's the reaper. And she holds the scales. Okay. And she is the holiest of death. And that represents understanding it. And she's the purge. Okay. The purge. There you go. Um, the angel of death. In your Bible, I believe they call the angel of death. Okay. There is no dead. Yes, there is. There's the living dead. Um, See, you don't understand because you're looking at it from another perspective that you're not supposed to be looking at it from. There's two types of people, and you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. Okay. See, that's why y'all need to learn how to interpret y'all's books. Because if you read the Emerald Tablets and you read the Bible talks of different types of people, and so does the Emerald Tablet. And depending on the person that you currently are, depends on whether, you know, what you can call yourself. Okay. Get some knowledge. Right. Arnold said, let me get your number. My number, my Cash App, I'll give you my Cash App. That's the only number I give out. Here you go. You can write me a message on there. They got text. That's the only way you can text if you Cash App, baby. Okay. Okay, search souls, you're right. Praise Jesus, Lord, God, whatever. Okay, you're right. Bye. I gotta get rid of them because they boring now. When you are born, you grow and your body dies at the same time. Those of you who know the code understand what I'm saying. You know, those of you who seek knowledge understand um, what it is. What do you do when someone has found your binding spell and read them? Girl, you kick yourself in the butt for being that stupid. That's what you do. Learn your lesson. Do not repeat. Okay. Why would you put it somewhere that someone could find? That's number one. Y'all got to be smarter than this. Come on. Why didn't you put it in a tampon box, baby? He ain't going in there. Put it in a douche bottle box. Whatever you got that he don't want to ever touch ever, put it there, okay? Wrap it up. Put it somewhere and where he will never look. Be smart, okay? I promise you. He won't find it. Put it somewhere he didn't ever want to go. There you go. Next time, do that. Right. Shira, can you tell what's to come? Prepare besides vegan? Well, read the book of Enoch and you will see. Yes. And I did videos last year on the book of Enoch. Just go onto my channel page and or click on videos and then put in there Enoch and see all the videos that have Enoch in my title that will pop up and you can read. Okay. hmm Uh, you shine forever. What can you do to bind a racist, supremacist neighbor that have moved in? And I've said, girl, call the y'all got to do stuff the old-fashioned way sometimes. Y'all can't just rely on spells. Sometimes you got to do things the old-fashioned way. Sometimes, like call the homeowners association. No, honestly, you don't want to do a binding spell. What you want to do on them is a go, to a blackout spell. That's funny, right? Blackout spell to get rid of them, to black them out of your lives. Maybe, hopefully, through the corona, they'll lose their job and have to move out anyway. Work on that. How do you cleanse crystals from dark cursed energy? Put them in the sun, baby. How? Yeah, put them in the sunlight. There you go. What are your thoughts on Martin Kinney about energies emitting from Aurora Borealis? Activated dormant DNA, the plasma, the gene, the plasma. Yeah, wonderful. Gang, gang. Yes, that's what that is. The aurora borealis is the plasma, conscious energy, souls um, that are activating right now, changing the frequency of the earth through the vortex, then the earth grid and the shift. So yes. Mm-hmm. Post search souls. Yes, God is alive. Been here the whole time. Walking among you. Right. Walking right next to you. Talking to you right now. Okay. The Bible says many gods. Yes, you. Who's that? Kathy? Yes, there are many gods. I have. There's gods in my home. Gods across the street. Gods next door. Gods on YouTube. Gods and goddesses too. Yes, lots of them. Um, there's only one God. Then why do they speak of many gods in the Bible? And why is God a jealous God? And why is there not supposed to have any gods before them if there's only one God? You see, I don't think you read that right. Only true God, yes, the truth will set you free. You are correct. The word God is also the Elohim, and that was plural. Bet you didn't know that because they don't teach that in that little book that you stick to and don't read any other books around that book. So maybe you need to do some more reading. Okay. Read the book. Read the book. Read it. Read it. Read it. Yeah, most Christians who they're not even really Christian at all. They are followers of Christ. Let that sink in for 2 seconds. Most people who claim to be Christian are not Christian. They are either followers of Christ. Um, okay. They cannot be that in which they are not. They can only follow and believe and pray to, but they cannot be. Hmm. Thank you. With that, labradorite. This stone, labradorite. I'm not getting mad. I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to hint to you which words to go look up by pronouncing them extra. But I guess you wouldn't know that because I don't know. You're not really paying attention. Right. Religious people are frustrating. I know they're brainwashed. That is exactly why they have to be tricked. Y'all see? This is a great example. I'm so glad this person came on here. This is exactly why the masses have to be tricked because you see how foolish and dumb this person is and how they have no idea what they're even talking about. They're just regurgitating something that they were told. They didn't look into it, didn't ask any questions, just believed it point blank, period, and will actually die for it. This is why you must be tricked. Cha-ching. Okay, on the money. So this is the reason because there's more fools out there like that. And when you have a mass of fools, you have to lie and trick them. And when you lie and trick them, they'll be fine. They'll be okay. Okay. They'll be fine. Because if you try to tell them something else, that's when they act silly. So let them think whatever they want to think. That's fine. It doesn't do anything to me because I could care less what happens to them, honestly. Um, Not only they can't even be open, I know. That's how you know they're shut down when that's how you know they've been shut down. And you have to lie to them and trick them because there's no time to waste. There's no other way around it. Just lie and trick them and move on, baby. Because that's exactly what I would do. But actually, I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even bother lying to them. I just let them figure it out and film it and laugh at them. Okay. But see, the trick is kind, at least. The trick will have them at least having something to think on. Um, how do you get out of a spell or a curse someone did on you? Vibrate higher, create your own reality, know who you are, know thyself. That's how. Rise above it. Um, that's it. No one has power over you unless you allow them to. That's just it. So if you allow the fear of the idea that someone has something over you, then you are permitting it. And that's it. If you permit it, then that's giving it power. So you don't permit it and you don't allow others to have power over you and you just vibrate on a higher frequency. That's it. Basically, no one has power over you unless you allow them access to your frequency by thinking that they have power over you. So I don't believe anyone has that amount of power over my life because I have that. No one else can touch that except for me. So therefore, I can't be cursed because I create my own reality. Okay. They can waste their time and energy trying to curse me, but they'll just be doing that, wasting time and energy. That's how you have to think. Um, I did say a mass of fools. I sure did. Because, you know, it takes a fool to listen to a fool. And a lot of people are really sitting up there watching CNN and buying into a lot of things and Donald Trump and things like that. So it takes a fool to listen to a fool and do what a fool says. But that's why they call them the masses because they have to be fooled by a fool. They have to be kept entertained by a fool while the real stuff goes down. Okay. Right. hmm I grew up, well, my mom was raised Catholic. Um, and I did learn a lot, biblically, but I always knew that it was metaphor and there was more to the story. So, when I was in the fifth grade, that's when I started seeking my own knowledge and spirituality and, my spiritual path because I knew that it was code or metaphor for something else. And I think I was beyond um, my years and I knew that there was more to it because I experienced way more and I felt like I was spiritually smarter than most of the adults in my life. So I could not depend on them to explain anything, so I depended on myself. Honestly, it's like y'all don't know the answers. Y'all, I was just like Kanye with y'all ain't got the answers. And then I went to go search for the answers. hmm Not the most used word in the Bible, but used well. Oh, what are y'all talking about? hmm Search and souls. You can go and read your Bible 20 times, but I will still know what it means before you will. You know what I mean? Probably not. It's written in code. Ancient Hermetics wrote your Bible. Alchemy, quantum physics, Thoth's words are in your Bible. Okay, it's just been reworded, and I can decode it for you. hmm I know you're a troll because I can tell by the way you're speaking. So I'm just not really going to put up with you anymore because I feel that you just need some attention because you're probably alone in the quarantine. Yeah, I need to find something else. Though. Um, Thank you. Stop teaching women voodoo and teach them how to cook and clean. I'll teach them to do voodoo on you to get you to cook and clean. How about that, Wallace? You done came to the wrong chat room, Wallace. You wake up and something missing tomorrow, don't be mad. Something to shrink, don't be upset. Look, now you're gonna be checking it, touching on it, and don't walk in front of a school. Wait, school's out. Never mind. You're gonna keep touching itself. Like, is it still there? Did it shrink? Is it getting smaller? You're gonna be paranoid now. Do I need to go get me that Viagra? Thank you, women who work. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How do I protect myself from spiritual curses? Rise above thinking that anyone can touch you because you create your own reality. You create your own life. Okay. Can you curse God? Can you curse a God? Can you curse an Orisha? Can you curse a higher frequency? Can you curse the sun? Then what are you doing? What are you thinking? Stop doing that. That's the problem within itself. Okay? You're not cursed. Even in the Bible, it says you can't be cursed. The children of the sun cannot be cursed. Okay? By others. That's just how it is. Right. It means they have no power over you. Your frequency is higher. If you know who you are. If you know who you are. That's it. Right. Now you can curse people that don't know who they are, like because they'll believe it and their frequency is going to be naturally low and they're going to fear. And just like Wallace is going to be doing tomorrow, they can keep touching themselves to make sure it's still there. That is the curse. It's a game of chess. So if you know thyself, you know who you are, you already know that it's not going to happen, it's not going to work out for them. The curse was just a waste of air and breath because you know thyself. Now, there's so many people walking around asleep and don't know who they are. Yes, curses will work on them. So that's why I'm saying you have to know your power and you won't ever think you're cursed. Okay. Yeah, head games. Exactly. See, he gonna be looking at his back window when he go to driving because the cops gonna be after him now. It's programming. Okay. He gonna get a ticket during the corona. Yes, he's still gonna get a ticket during the corona, and his stuff gonna shrink. And he gonna be mad, and he will be mad. He's not gonna come back here for a long time. All right. Okay. Just understand, Wallace. You came in here and asked for it, and it ain't just me thinking it. So good luck to you. That's why. Okay, y'all remember that movie Skeleton Key? That's why the magic or the voodoo or the hoodoo wouldn't work on her until she believed. Remember, she didn't believe at first. And they had to trick her into believing in order for them to do their spell work on her. Y'all remember that? So they were tricksters as well. You have to trick someone into your agenda. You got to trick them into believing. You have to trick them into the frequency that you need them to be on to do your thing. Okay. Just like the world is tricking a lot of people right now to get them on a certain frequency and also to purge many people at the same time. Now, if you're unable to understand that, just go watch the movie The Skeleton Key, and it will kind of explain it. Okay. It will kind of explain it that way. Right. Um, that's how you manipulate people. Exactly. On a mass scale. That's what that happening right now. You said Oprah got coronavirus. Of course she has it. She's an influencer. Mhm. Um, she has to change the frequency because the shift is happening too fast and they have to slow it down and they have to purge more people. So of course, oh, Oprah got it now. I know I'm gonna get it because Oprah got it. Oh, Lord, I need to go get checked. Oprah got it. I know I can get it. Oh Lord, let me go check. Let me worry some more. Let me lower my frequency so I can. Oh, I think I got the corona. you know, um, I think I got the rona. Y'all know how this the emoji for the virus. I got the corona. I got the corona. Y'all know how they had on Instagram, they did the whole world in his hand challenge. I got the corona in my hands. I got the corona in my hands with no gloves. I got the corona in my hands. I got the corona in my hand. No gloves. All right. Don't laugh. That's not funny. See, I raised y'all's frequency. You see? Y'all got to laugh sometimes. It's funny. Instead of being worried and crying and scared, you got to laugh. That's what raises your frequency too. Um, what else? What else? I'm not scared of your colored rocks. Okay. You don't have to be scared of colored rocks. Why are religious people scared of what God made? Because they're dumb. They have low IQs naturally. People that don't ask questions and accept whatever they're told naturally have low IQs, baby. That's why. I mean, I don't know. Um Hi. God brought it to us and he will get us through it. Right, right, right. Like it's just the truth. Like um the colored rocks, as you say, are the stones or the mountains or the gemstones that a lot of the great kings of the Bible wore on their chest plates and stones that they were asked to wear in their crown. You mean those kind of stones? Big dummies. But religious people can always be corrected by their own religion. That's the beauty of it. It's a paradox. Okay. Right. How will things be when this is over? We take it over. We have it chewed. Well, there'll be a lot of empty spaces and there'll be a lot of open jobs and new companies to start and a lot of new opportunity. Thank you, women who work. Do you believe private life is a happy life? Do you believe in evil eye? I'm not active on social media anymore because I was told not to provoke evil eye. I don't live in fear. I am the evil eye. You know what I'm saying? I don't live in fear of people. I'm not going to tell people anything that they don't need to know. If I do something, they're going to know after it's done, or it's not going to be what I'm going to do at all, and I'll do something totally different. So they'll be focused on something else. It's called playing chess. If you can't play the game, then you will never win. You see? So you're not getting ready to know what I'm doing until it's done and you to experience it. As far as being on social media and telling all your business, the evil eye is simply people throwing negativity your way and you looking for like certain people that look for validation and get the evil eye in return. I don't look for validation. I am the validation. So I don't fear any of those things. And that's just that, you know. I am too above that, and so should you be. We all should be above that. And this is how we're supposed to be thinking. You know, we're coming out of a shift where we were at the bottom, started from the bottom, now we're here, but a lot of people are still thinking as if they are below or beneath something or someone else. And that's just not true. So you are the evil eye. Yet the high priestess says just envy, right? It's a compliment. If someone envies you, that is a compliment. Take it as a compliment. Be like, well, I guess if I were you, I'd be envious of me too. Can't be mad at that. Flip it and turn it around. Make it positive. Okay. Wallace says, I'm teaching women about ghosts and how to dig up pink rocks, and I can't even boil an egg. Your egg's going to be boiled by morning. Uh, Los huevos. Okay. Your eggs will be boiled by morning. Does working hard go along with manifesting? Having an avenue for which you want your manifestation to come through is important. So, let's say, um, you are trying to manifest a certain position or career or, you know, high level. You must have a way for it to come to you. You can't just be sitting in the middle of a desert with nothing around you. You must have an avenue for it to come through. Okay. You can come in, Layla. That's a good question. Do you believe in generational curses? Generational curses go back to what your mom taught you, what your grandma taught your mom, and what you're going to teach your children. You can break the generational curse or the cycle of whatever knowledge you were given that did not benefit you. So, knowledge breaks generational curses, basically. If you have a generational curse of poverty, learn about money, learn about finance, learn about investment, learn about saving, learn about spending. If you have um, a generational curse of somebody leaving you or being left or being divorced or whatnot, learn how to deal with men better, understand the psychology in the feminine and masculine aspect and the genders and the nature of gender. Okay. Knowledge breaks generational curses. Okay. What about singlehood? Um, well, are you leveled up, baby? Are you what a man wants to see? Are you something that he's going to be proud of when he takes you out in public? Okay, men are visual creatures. Do you know the nature of a man? Are you feminine? Are you attracting the masculine naturally? Okay, work on that if you're single. That's why I have my other channel. Okay. Um, You're the first person in your family to leave your religion. Well, if it's beneficial, then congratulations. Yes. We are only given four sciences: numbers, letters, colors, and shapes. Four sciences. What about quantum physics? I forgot that one. Um, Happy April Fool's Day. Hey. Someone says Happy April Fool's Day. Let's get Yeah, we already been through a lot of the esoteric stuff. The kids are happy they don't have to go back to school till May 4th. They're like, "Yay." Mhm. Stop saying quantum physics like you know it. Well, stop correcting me like you know it. Mhm. Quantum physics fall under shape and geometry. Okay, well, thank you for saying that quantum physics falls under shapes and geometry. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Space and time. Exactly. All is mental, thoughts and frequencies, vibrations, right? The science, the alchemy. All those scientists fall under alchemy. So we don't even have to split up. We can just say alchemy and be done. The black arts. There you go. Hmm. What? Um, that's that is so true. Knowledge break generational curses and oaths and covenants to spiritual entities that we were born in because of our parents or environment. That's right. Thank you, Natasha Fletcher. Sprinkle, sprinkle. My black cat named Kali is started staring at you like she's mesmerized. Thanks for what you do. The truth is too unbelievable for most. Hi, kitty. Hi, Kali. I have to say hi to your cat. Sprinkle, sprinkle. um, you said all colored arts, right? The land of Kim, chemistry, Kemet, alchemy. Yeah. Black cats love me. Oh, because I love them. Okay. Am I selling cures? No, I'm selling um knowledge right here. Like, and it's free if you just click on YouTube. The cure is within. How about that? I said the cure is within. Yes. These people are weird. Mhm. So it's best to be brown, mixed, or in the middle in case the shift keeps changing. Will people with melanin have a higher immune system for decades to come? Yeah, it's like, okay, so think about all the people near the equator, the equator. All the people that live near the equator are darker skinned, they're brown. Okay. So when the earth shifts, when the magnetic pole shift, you know, the earth tilts, the frequency changes, the sun gets in at a certain angle, there's more light coming in, different information, da 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 da. You know, and then when it shifts back and there's less light coming in and da 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 da, then being of a certain skin tone will allow you to still absorb information because of the amount of sunlight you can absorb in the less amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, this is science. If the darker you are, the longer you have to stay out to get the vitamin D, and then you start downloading the information. When that veil was up and when the earth was tilted in a different way. But now that the veil is down, now if you have a darker skin tone, you can absorb um, that information much quicker and get your downloads. But when it goes back up after the shift, then it's going to get less and less and less and less and less and less again. But that will take years, and so that's why they're pushing the middle ground, or to for everyone to become one, so that everyone will continuously get that information. Okay, and so no one will be left without, or given more than the other. Everything will be kind of spread out. All will be one. Okay. Um, what advice do I have for a healthcare worker? Um, if I were in that situation, I would either quit my job or take off until the whole thing was over. Okay, because I don't want to deal with that. I really wouldn't want to deal with it. That's just what I would do. If I had no choice, I would create a choice and find another way. Because, see, the more you're around it, the more you're going to buy into it. The lower your frequency is going to become. That's why Thoth says, separate yourselves. The Bible says, separate yourselves, because you're going to start to turn into that frequency that those other people are on. So I will be out. I'm sorry. I will get online and put up my website and be like, free online nurse consultation, and make my money that way and be out. Okay. Because I'm not doing that. You said you quit today? Go ahead, Whitney. Whitney quit. I don't blame you. I would have quit too. A lot of people quit. It's a choice that you make. Everything is free will. Remember that. And that's what the purge is. It's your free will. Free will, and who's gonna understand what's happening. You took off a month, Divine Source Tarot. Good for you. Because I would have taken off too. Like, I'm done. You said April Fool's the Rona. That's right. Hmm. Create your own jobs right now. There are a lot of people online that are looking for answers. You can create some type of service right now. I would. Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. If you don't understand how to decode all those superstitions, it's a good time right now to look up the symbolic meaning of all those things that you are asking about, and do your research on those things. Like, what is the symbolic meaning of a mirror? Look all that up, and all that information will just pour into you, and you will understand exactly what's what you know hmm You can go and find all my old videos from like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, about all those questions you guys are asking about superstitions, mirror work, and all that. That's from years ago. I've already covered all of those things. Just look up the spiritual meaning, or the symbolic and spiritual meaning of those things. Okay. Hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Gnostic Thomas Crown the Third, Thought Moose Most Thotmos. That's a long name. Thank you, though. Do you know about mirror work? Yes, I do. And I have done video after video many years ago on my channel. You can go and look that up on my video page. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. hmm What's up with polarization? Um, it's kind of just showing that we must come together in order to avoid polarization. Okay. Or, everything is free will, though. Everything is free will. There's a purge. Okay, so the purge that's happening right now, let me tell you who's being purged. The older people with the lower immune systems, because that's going to be the natural lower immune system. There's the people that overindulge in certain things are getting sick due to bad habits. Um, the people that are fear based are probably being paranoid, being tested, signing their life medical information away to be experimented on. So we have those people. And then we have the people that don't buy into it and are just going to keep themselves healthy and their immune system up and not really worry about it. So, there's different types of people. And depending on your thoughts, your frequency, and how you approach this whole entire thing is what your reality will be. So, I'm not the type of person that's overly concerned about anything like that. And so my frequency's higher and I don't really deal with it. Okay. Uh Thank you, Stephanie Wilkins. Oh, she sprinkled me. Oh, with a generous donation. Thank you. Shira, my husband is not woke and he is super negative. He is a provider though. How to get him out of the negative headspace? Um, well, with someone like that, you have to trick them. Thank you, Stephanie. Like, I've been talking about this for a little while. You have to trick people like him. Find out what his trigger is and flip it. Okay. So, for example, if he's negative, what is he positive about? Is there anything he's positive about? Whatever that you know that he is positive about, flip it and use it. Okay. So you're gonna have to really understand like his triggers. What what is he very positive about? Use that. hmm You're in the same situation. You got to find their trigger. All you got to do is find their trigger. What are they positive about? Is there one thing? Because most negative people aren't 100% negative. There's a couple things or one thing, at least one person that is very negative that they are positive about. You have to trick people sometimes into you have to trick people out of their own demise, which is sad. Or you got to trick people out of lowering their own frequency. hmm That's just what you got to do sometimes. It's just there's no way around it. hmm What should we do about 5G for protection? Um, Anything that absorbs electromagnetic frequency, like stones, crystals, higher frequency, drink water, etc., etc. A lot of people say unplug stuff you're not using that will help turn off your phone and stuff at night. So all of that. If that's what you need to do. Yeah. What? Yeah, manipulate that energy. Yeah. Like I'm no expert, but I am learning and trying to teach the youth they need this knowledge. Yes. So, reverse psychology, exactly. Now, if y'all called it reverse psychology, people wouldn't call it, no, it's evil to trick people. No, okay, it's just reverse psychology. Oh, okay, then it's okay then. Yeah. It's the same thing, exactly. So, yeah, people got to be tricked sometimes for their own good. Do I really believe astrology is real or something for fun? I believe it's what you make it. What do you believe? You know, do you examine horoscopes like Capricorn? No, I let people do that for themselves because to me, I'm not interested in too many things like that because there's more to focus on and that's more important at this time. I do it in fun and just a curiosity as an interest, but I don't base my life decisions on it. Now, yeah, I don't base life decisions on it because I'm in control of that. Right. You don't trick through gifts. You don't trick those gifts. So, um, if it's a life or death situation, you'll trick somebody, believe me. Because sometimes you have to tell people certain things in order to get them to move quick, fast without asking a bunch of questions and slowing you down. If it came down to something like that, you would have to trick people in order to get them to do certain things. I often think about that, like, let's say you know how to decode and you can read messages and stuff and know what's coming, and you know they're telling you to do the opposite of what you know you are supposed to be doing, and your family is like, no, we got to stay here because they're listening to what they're saying because they're going to be part of that purge. But if you know something and you are very sure of it because it checks out, then you got to lie and tell whoever you need to come with you, whoever you love and want you know to thrive with you. You need to lie to them and get them to go. Okay, just like you would your child, just like you would your mother or some stubborn person. You're going to have to lie to them one day in order to save their lives. And that's what it comes down to many, many times. Because people will be out here doing the stupidest stuff if they weren't tricked. Okay. And I'm sorry that some people are against it, but that's just what you've been tricked for most of your lives and you don't even realize it. So if you don't know, it won't hurt you. Right. If you've been tricked for most of your lives, then you don't even realize it. Then how can it be harmful to you and you don't, or how can you be against it when you're a victim of it and don't even know it? And right. hmm Well, I'm reading the questions of people and I'm answering them. Do you suggest never watch the news again? If you're going to watch the news, watch it to decode because there's coded messages too. If you're going to watch the news, decode the message. Hence the book Lies My Teacher Told Me, right? Manipulation is required, right? We're all basically oneself. Yes, yes, yes. And sometimes you have to lie to yourself. Sometimes you have to trick yourself, motivate yourself. So it's the same thing, right? It is very much the same thing. Um, some people get symptoms just think watching fake news. I know because your brain creates your mind, the frequency, all of that combined is going to create what your reality is going to be. Right. I don't watch the news. I just read and do my own thing, laugh, post funny stuff, watch videos. I'm not really concerned about something that I understand is a purge for those who want to buy into it or who have not taken the proper precautions or who have not been, you know, it just is what it is. I can't really say it's fair. All I can say is, you know, people who sought out knowledge will probably be able to get through it fine. That's it. Fear does decrease immunity. The world looking for a fall guy, it ain't me. Well, no one has to fall if they have the information. No one has to fall. The weekend says, I come alive in the fall time. Sure, are there positive benefits to 5G? Depending on your frequency, there is. You know, like I said, there's duality. There's two types of people. Depending on your frequency, things affect you different. Because when I say frequency, I don't mean new agey stuff. I mean your electromagnetic frequency, your scientific frequency, how you absorb radiation. Okay, how your body, according to your eumelanin or your pheomelanin, absorb heat and sound together, which creates your electromagnetic frequency that feeds your melanin, the radiation around you. I'm talking about science. So if you are if you are a melanated person, then 5G doesn't really bother you that much. You absorb it and it becomes your food. Okay. And so some people it causes cancer because they cannot absorb it. And it decreases their oxygen in their cells, which permanently damages the DNA in their um, cell. So it is science. It's science. It's science. Why don't people unite? I don't know. They don't want to. They've been forced apart. I don't know. You know, that whole part of it, the lies and all of those things, you know, I don't know why. Who knows? Hmm. What extra excuses can we use not to use the vaccine? I'm vegan and it's against my religion, and I'm allergic to formaldehyde and bat monkey juice, whatever they put up in there. Yeah, I'm allergic. I'm vegan against my religion. I'll just rather die. Let's just say that. Once you sell your soul, no going back. Well, don't sign over any papers. Don't go get tested for it then. Then you won't have to take a vaccine for it if you don't get tested. And, you know, if they require you to get a vaccine for your in order for your children to go back to school, guess what? Don't take your children back to school, homeschool. Oh, you're like, oh well, they've been home this long. They can stay home again next year for all I care. Just send the little worksheets and the the online learning center or whatever, because I really don't care. I like sleeping in. Is there any benefits of being white? Yes. You know, the benefit is you can mix. You can mix in into so that your children and your children's children can have a higher immune system as well as um, the the upswing of the shift. Yeah. Um, what Thoth talked about when he was playing games with the moon, he went up to the moon. He played games. It was like a chance game. He would take part of the moon's energy or the part of the moon's light and store it in his crown so that he would avoid um, the curse, which was falling and rising. And so basically, what he did was mixed in and got um, a certain level of frequency so that he would not ever be affected by the shifts. Okay, so basically, he mixed and got him some sprinkle from this side and that side and kept it in the middle. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be mixed. It can be just skin tone. You could be black, white. That's what y'all see that Sinbad thing when he's talking about dark white on Instagram. He say the dark white people, which is the light skinned black people, or the tan or whatever, the Native American, the whatever. Basically, in order for the veil not when the veil returns, in order for the chakras not to flip back after the veil returns and for the light to stay um, and for the person to still be able to receive information and the Akashic records and all that kind of stuff, you're able to absorb that light energy faster and more abundantly. Unless you live out by a lot of sunlight and they're not spraying clouds to block it, and you can receive your amount of energy and sunlight um, on a daily basis. But think about this: in North America, where we live, most people don't stay outside all day, and they do block the clouds. They do block the sun with the clouds, and there is then a veil over the whole earth as well. So that's part of it. It's the science. Thank you, Devon. Sprinkle, sprinkle. When I study Thoth, Anubis shows up. Ain't that his daddy? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Get your history. Get your learn on. Get your learn on. Hi, Mama D. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. You said I support this message. Right. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, Natasha. What's your take on the human energy biofield that surrounds us individually? Like what? Donut? Like a Terra donut? Okay. And stores all of our information, data, and everybody is a crystal. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You're a crystal. Crystalline. Crystal is in your eumelanin. So, of course. Um, mom. Mm-hmm. I have super chats. Thank you, everybody who donated. I read some of them. I read most of them, the ones that I could see. Appreciate that. Mother No Shade. Hey, that's Mama D. That's her new handle. That's her new handle. That's why I don't see you when you come here because I look for your old name. hmm Did you get my message on in donation? Husband is super negative. Yes, I spoke about that. I said trick him. Find something he's positive about and start talking about that. Change the topic. You know what I'm saying? Get your stripper pole out. I don't know. I don't know, but change the topic with him when he starts talking negative. Flip it to something he likes or talks positive about. hmm Do I ever do research on the Freemasons or the New World Order? No, I just seek knowledge, and most of the stuff that they know, I already learned. You know what I'm saying? I just seek knowledge, and usually all that stuff is able to be decoded, and you can see the bigger picture. Um, What do you think about Trump? I think he's the joker and the trickster, and he's very entertaining to the masses. Thank you. If I don't see the donation, I can't say thank you. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Sometimes they come up a little bit later. But thank you if you're donating. I appreciate it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mhm. Um, what is your darkest desire? Do you know? Do you even care? My darkest desire. I've already done it. Wow. How you doing? I, my darkest desire was to work closely with death, and I've already done that. I was a mortician. Thank you. I have a donation. I've already thank you. Thank you for the donation. Whoever keeps donating, I cannot see it. Um, so, sorry, but thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How many people do they want to get rid of? I don't know. Donald Trump said 100,000 here. Who knows? I don't think it's the end. I think it's the beginning. 2020 is the shift. The 2020 experience. Justin Timberlake album. Remember that album? So honestly, it's The Purge. That movie, The Purge, election year, very symbolic. Um, election year, The Purge, 2020, 4D, donut Earth, circle Earth. That's all what it means. We're already shifting. This is the purge. Um, whoever don't make it through doesn't make it through. That's just how it is. It's like they started telling y'all last year how to prepare, but not giving you the information. They started, oh, go vegan, vegan challenge, burger, Beyond Meat comes out, celebrities start endorsing plant-based diets. People start teaching and putting out information more easily accessible. Everywhere you go, you see crystal stones, incense and stuff now. You could go to the regular store and find most of that stuff now. So it's just they were giving you the tools that you needed and the info that you needed, but it was up to you in order to receive it. They were pushing it through advertisement. They were pushing interracial relationships. They were pushing love. They were pushing, yeah, V for Vendetta, basically. They were pushing all of these things so that people could do them on their own because it is free will. It is free will. Everything is free will. How you take care of your body, whether you smoke, whether you eat bad, whether you do this, whether you do drugs, whether you drink, you know, whether you, whatever you do, that's your judgment. You judge yourself. Are you going to stay here? Are you getting the understanding? Are you getting the picture? Does it have to be spelled out to you? So they're trying to see who's awake, who's going to even know that they were purged in the first place. If you're not aware of certain things, you don't even know you're being purged in the first place. So it's not something that you feel like you're a victim of. So that's how it's being done, because if you don't understand what's going on, then you just died of the coronavirus. It got you. You were just so sad, so unlucky. You know, but why didn't they die? Because they listened. Just like the Noah's Ark thing. Um, they listened, they didn't eat that meat, they got off all that dairy, they don't have built up mucus in their lungs. They're not smoking and doing drugs and allowing stuff to stick inside their lungs. Like I was telling y'all gotta Y'all had to stop all that stuff last year, and people kept arguing. But I said, okay, I know what time it is. It's close to midnight. And so, people judge themselves and they purge themselves. It's all free will. And when people try to give you a little bit of advice or information, and and it's on a mass scale globally, you have to pay attention, because the help and the information comes before what they call the flood. Okay. And thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Why are we purging? Because we have to, when the earth shifts into a higher frequency, those who aren't on that frequency are not able to shift with it. Okay. That's why. So those people are purged due to their lowered frequency or their inability to adapt to a certain frequency. And that's just all. It's like Thanos snap, you know. But it's free will, because you can fight. You had the opportunity to fight. That's why on end games, when they brought all those people back after Thanos snapped them away, they had a second chance to fight that battle. A lot of people still died in that battle with Thanos on end games, but they had a fair chance to fight. That was the meaning. They gave you fair chance to fight, which was, giving you all the innuendos, the slick commercials, the vegan challenges, all of those things they were giving you in order to prepare you for what was to come in the future. Thank you, Davon Sprinkle. Devon, you can organite pyramids be used to heal your chakra. Um, what's wrong with your chakras? Sprinkle, sprinkle. They're going to reverse if you are of a certain frequency. So get ready. You can empower them by raising your frequency. Yes. Do you have to do the census if you get around to it? Do you have to do the census? Did the mailman lose your letter? How you doing? I don't know. Do you? My mailman never delivered it. He must have got the corona and dropped it. Okay. So there still would be good and evil after the purge. There will be good and evil after the purge, of course, because there will still be free will. Right. Sheila, do you know if there more to fear and pity? If you're not vegan now, become vegan. If you drink alcohol, stop drinking alcohol. If you eat meat, stop eating meat. If you don't drink a lot of water, start drinking a lot of water. Okay. And think more positive. There you go. Your immune system will be high, and whatever else comes your way, you will probably be less likely to get it. Okay. There you go. Funny how the corona and the census line up. Yep, they're trying to count how many people are still here. Right, right. How many years? It's happening now. What y'all talking about? How many years? It's now, right now. Mhm. Moderation. Uh-huh. I don't have fear for the you don't have fear if you already know what you're supposed to be doing. There is no fear. Like, a lot of people are just sitting here walking around with no fear at all, just laughing. A lot of people are won't even leave their house because they're in such fear. A lot of people don't have any symptoms because they don't have any underlying causes, or they don't have mucus buildup, or they don't have lower frequencies from eating certain foods. So they're fine. They don't they feel nothing. They're good. So it just my future prediction is get healthy and you won't have to worry about anything. Whatever they come with, you won't have to worry about it. Um I do predict storms, more fires, but that's every year. Okay. Storms, fires, of course, every year. Get ready for fire season in California. Get ready for hurricane season in the South. There you go. Get ready. Mhm. I swear she answers the same questions over and over. I know. That's because they're new people and they're asking new questions to themselves, but old questions to us. Thank you, Shadow. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, it's a black kitty. Hey, sprinkle, sprinkle. Right. Um, curses and alchemy. Oh yeah, yeah. So I've already discussed the topic. It's mostly in the first 30 minutes of the video, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. After that, I just answer people's questions. So y'all know how that goes. I believe in reincarnation, of course, yes. Corona stuff is really going to last until July. However they want how ooh, July. I was decoding the song Summer Breeze. Isley Brothers sings about the loophole of the curse of Thoth in that song, in a lot of his songs. Like Isley. So summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmines in my mind. Ooh, so that means does it seem colder in your summertime and hotter in your fall? That means you are of a balance, you know. Um, so summer breeze. July is dressed up and playing a tune. Okay, so that line, July is dressed up and playing a tune, is equivalent to um, the dead, the dead. Okay, hold on. I gotta look it up so I can get it right. It's the Thriller Vincent Price speech. So hold on. I know it, but I want to quote it exactly. So he says, gotta put lyrics. Okay, there. He says, all these stupid pop-ups. Okay, darkness falls across the land. Darkness falls, not like covers, but falls across the land. That's the death of the lower frequency people. Okay. The midnight hour is close at hand. Okay, midnight hour means the shift is about to occur and the power is about to switch places. Creatures crawl in search of blood. Can y'all donate some blood? Can y'all donate some blood? To terrorize y'all's neighborhoods. Okay. Kidnap people, try to get that blood, that melanin. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down, that means for vibrating, dancing, must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. I'm going to throw you tonight The foulest stench is in the air. The clouds, the uncovering, the unveiling, the funk of 40,000 years. Grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no mere mortal can resist the evil. So the thriller is a movie, a screen, a fictional tale with twists and turns and trickery. So no mere mortal, no average person, no person who's part of the masses can resist vibrating on the frequency of thinking that the thriller is real. But I grew up listening to this song all the time. So when he says night creatures start to walk in their masquerade. Is July is dressed up and playing a tune. Night creatures start to walk in their masquerade. July is dressed up and playing a tune. Y'all get it? So it's saying the same thing. There are some people that are starting to look like the opposite of how they were born, like Kim Kardashian. Y'all know what I'm saying? Then we have July. The lie, July is dressed up, playing a tune. They're mixing back into the race. Okay. Or, yeah. So all these songs are trying to tell you what's going on. Okay, now listen to this. Now this is gonna get y'all because I've told y'all that. Um, y'all remember that picture I showed you earlier in the video of Rihanna's album cover? Because, okay, there ain't no second chance against the thing with 4D eyes, girl. Okay, 4D, not 40. 4D eyes. There ain't no second chance against the thing with 4D eyes, girl. That's the shift. So where's that? There ain't no second chance against the thing with 4D eyes. So it's all there the whole time and very interesting. You know there's a strong possibility that I'm right, though, right, Joshua? There's a strong possibility that I am crazy, but there's an even stronger possibility that I am correct. Okay? Right. July is code for the Jewish lie. For who's bad? Michael Jackson song, Who's Bad? Okay. Who's gonna tell you once again who's bad? There. Go listen to those lyrics. Okay, there you go. And the whole world has to tell you right now, just no. And the whole world has to listen. And the whole world has to tell you right now. And the whole world has. And the whole world has to what? Just to tell you once again who's bad. Hmm. There you go. How do I feel about July 16th? Let's see. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. 9D. The Purge. That's it. See you in July. This is it. Michael Jackson. He says, see you in July. Mhm. All right. Mhm. I've been watching almost a year. Appreciate all of you now. Thank you, Grace. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do we reincarnate into an animal? If you're going to a higher frequency, you can do way more than that. Mhm. When things start heating up, right? I've been. Oh yeah, I'll write that one. Write that one over. Hmm. Smooth Criminal. Yeah, I did Smooth Criminal in 2010. Did a whole video decoding that on a whole different channel. Um, yeah, very interesting, and probably on one of these channels too. It's probably in my decode playlist breakdown. It's called Breakdowns. I probably did it in there. One of those videos. Um, why did I want to work with dead people? Because I had a lot of questions and curiosities that were answered by working with them. Like most of the true seekers of knowledge studied anatomy very closely. Leonardo da Vinci, um, lots of scientists, the ancient Egyptians studied the body very closely. That's why a lot of their information in code is written in anatomy terms for the person who knows anatomy. I don't know why I was led to it, but that's just what I was led to. And by understanding the anatomy and how it looks, cross sectional, vertically, and all that, I see things in the um, the teachings that refer to anatomy, like the lion, the sphinx. Under the sphinx is my spaceship, the flower of life. I understand it's all parts of inside your body, cross sectional views of your anatomy. So I think that's probably why I was led to that, because it led to more knowledge later on in my life. Hmm. Do you see dead people? Yeah, every day I went to work, I saw dead people. I worked in a funeral home. How you doing? Okay. And that's why when people die, I can tell if they fake their death or not, according to legal things. That's why when stuff like this happens with the coronavirus, I can tell that it's a purge and not something that is a 100%, real pandemic, but more of a cover up for something else. And so, you can tell. Ask any coroner, ask anyone who works in a funeral home that's woke, they'll tell you to. Right. Okay. Why did MJ fake his death? The same reason people trick you every day, the same reason the government tricks you to change the frequency of the planet, to speed it up instead of slowing it down. Michael's. See, they're trying to slow it down, and but at the same time they have to sacrifice people. So there's a purge. In order to slow down the shift so people can get their stuff in order, there's a sacrifice, there's a purge. The cross, there's the sacrifice on the cross, baby. And so the sacrifice on the cross this time would represent this purge. And the longer and more time you guys try to buy with slowing it down through fear, the more people that are going to get purged. And so MJ was trying to speed it up um, on a certain frequency, and get it started and disrupt the whole magnetosphere and blow the top off. He took the top off the Maybach. I took the top off the Maybach. So that's what did it. His worldwide pandemic, after he passed away, the world shifted into a different frequency because everyone mourned him. So that was the kickstart and blew the roof off so that the shift could begin. It's like the sunroof going back. Hmm. Right. What did you learn this month and important to share? Egyptian, African. I learned what time it was. Hmm. It says, "Don't waste my time." That Usher song. It says, "You got a motive, and I think I like it. I know all your insecurities. You got my attention." Basically, that song is saying, I know y'all want to mix. I know you have a motive now. You got my attention. Just don't waste my time. Stop stalling. What y'all gonna do? Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. What did you learn this month that is important to share? I learned what time it is. We're in the shift. It's happening. It's close to midnight. It's midnight right now. It's midnight. Y'all know that doomsday clock where it says what time it is? Let's see what time it is on there. Doomsday clock. No, doomsday countdown. Let's see what time it is on this clock. Current time. Doomsday clock. Doomsday countdown. 100 seconds to midnight. Hey, where did it go? It's at trumpet.com. It says cannot open. Hey, open. Okay. 100 seconds to midnight. That's 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. Minute, minute, newt. That's on the Egyptian time scale. Hold on. I gotta look it up in this book. Oh, Horus is hours. It's in basically it's about to go down. Okay. The power is getting ready to flip. There'll be a whole new set of people that are now at the top of the food chain, and those who are at the bottom will now be at the top, basically. Let me see. I mean, right. Yep. Everything is we're in a trial, which is a judgment. We're in a cross. We're in a Passover. We're in a purge, basically. The nearest Armageddon in history. 100 seconds till midnight. Okay. There you go. Yeah, the sky's red. That's the shift that's occurring. We're shifting into a higher frequency. Some people can't shift there, and that's the corona. hmm Michael showed the corona and scream. He did. Oh my God, he did. What is the significance on March 6th? I don't know. Was Kobe a sacrifice? I think he was a frequency shifter. I'll say that because so many people don't really know what's going on, and I don't want to trigger anybody because So he was a frequency shifter, of course. He was a frequency shifter to speed it up. All right. What about nano silver and 5G? Nano silver is good for taking it for helping your immune system. Okay. 5G lowers your immune system. What's up with vaccines? Why do we get pumped with them our whole lives? Because they're putting something in you to either activate or deactivate. I don't know. Or an experiment. Who knows? I don't know. It's an experiment. What's being hidden in the red sky? The the shifting of the planet into a higher dimension. That's what's being hidden. There's more than one thing in the sky that they don't want you to see until the shift. Mhm. 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 Anyway, so a frequency shifter doesn't matter if they're alive or dead. As long as they shifted the frequency. That was their job. That was what they signed up to do. They shifted the frequency. Doesn't matter if they're alive or dead. They signed up to shift the frequency. So you literally do not have to die to shift the frequency of the masses because the masses don't do any research. Okay. But you can make it seem like you died because no one's going to look further into it. They're just going to accept it and move on like they normally do. Mhm. Right. So it doesn't really matter as long as the masses were reached and shifted. That's all that matters. I don't think the world is ending. I think it's flipping. I think the powers are shifting and flipping as well. Um, I think those who were at the bottom will now be at the top. Okay, there you go. hmm What's doomsday for others is a new day, a new dawn for others. You know what I'm saying? What's the end for some is the beginning for others. Paradigm shift, the shift of powers, the shift of control, the shift of the reins, the shift of switching seats, the driver's side to the back seat. You know what I'm saying? So it's shifting power, shifting wealth, shifting influence, shifting image, shifting a lot of these things. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Okay, it's close to midnight. That means the top of the clock versus the bottom of the clock. Um, mhm, mhm. Do you think Nipsey Hussle takes his death? This is a year today of his death. I believe that many people created a shift in the frequency of many other people by tricking a lot of people. Okay. So, a trick, would you rather someone really be killed or would you rather be lied to and said that they died and was killed? It's okay to trick the masses if it's for the greater good. Okay. Just understand that. That's why I try to tell people, um, sometimes it's for your own good to be lied to and tricked because a lot of people don't know any better. They don't have time to do research. They don't have the ambition to do any research or seek knowledge. Sometimes, in order to manipulate the frequency of the planet, you just have to trick a bunch of people at one time. And that's just it. I know people prefer truth, but truth is not going to shift the planet in a quick way. Truth is not going to raise the frequency in a fast way. Some people just got to be tricked for their own good, and that's just it. And you can figure it out later. Figure it out later, and you'll figure it out, and you won't be upset because you'll understand the dynamic. So, understanding that you're being tricked, most likely over and over and over. If you still believe everything that comes out to be 100% true, why shouldn't you stop? Why should they tell you the truth when they can just trick you? You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. It is free will for you to seek out your own information. That's what they're telling you. If you want to know the truth, go seek it. They're not going to give it to you because it's up to you to go find it. Right? Must seek the truth. Seek truth. If you don't seek the truth and you accept what is given, then that is the frequency that you're going to vibrate at. And that's exactly how you're manipulated. And that's just how it is. And that's how it always is going to be. That's how it always will be. Okay. So until people wake up and do their own research, they will either be the cause or the effect. Okay. So either you're the cause or you're the effect. The effect are the people that don't do their own research, and they are the people that are manipulated to create a certain frequency or energy about the planet. The causers are the ones that trick you into that frequency. Okay. The ones who are aware that they are being tricked can call their own shots and to control their own frequency and create their own stuff, you know. So if you don't understand that you're being tricked, then why do you need the truth in the first place? You're not even looking for it. Think about that. Everybody prefers truth, but you don't seek it. There you go. You have to seek knowledge and seek truth. Because if you don't, you're trusting whoever is giving you whatever information that they're giving to you, and they may not have your best interest in mind. And even though you do prefer truth, that doesn't mean that's what they're going to give to you. Okay, so you got to think. Not thinking is not going to help you. Okay, so anyway, I'm out. I got to go. Thank y'all so much for watching and listening. And I know you got to wonder what type of world you live in where you have to be tricked in mass numbers, where you live in a world with free will, and it is up to you to make it what you want and to seek truth. Okay. So I'll leave it at that. And y'all have a good evening and be smart. You think it's safe to put your kids back in school after the coronavirus? Um, if they don't require any vaccines and your kids have a high immune system and don't have um, mucus all up in their lungs, and you just have to put them back in school, I really wouldn't because you're supposed to separate yourself from people with lower frequencies at this time during the shift. If all of it goes away and it's gone and things are on the upswing for you, then hey, do what you got to do. But I'm not going to put my children in an environment with lower frequencies around them to bring them down, because kids are very influential, and they're very influential, especially in a place that has so many rules and stupid things that they put in place for no reason in order to keep order. So I think school lowers children's frequencies naturally. That's why they hate it. So I don't think I would send my kids back to school. I would just figure out what the steps were to do the homeschooling, and if they wanted to go back at a later date or maybe next year, maybe. hmm Your little boy keeps having nightmares. Yep. Sasha have had dreams. Like, people are seeing, things that are subliminal messages and telling you what's to come. So just keep your mind positive. Even at Starbucks, they're putting out signs by the drive-through. We love you. Take care. Be happy. Like, Starbucks, y'all, they know stuff. So they're putting out signs trying to keep people's frequencies high. You know, I'm like, dang, Starbucks loves me. Oh, I feel so special. Right. What trophies will you be collecting doing during your purge? I don't need trophies. I don't compete. I am the trophy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. How you doing? Something is very off on this channel tonight, sis. I don't know. It's a bunch of bots. Okay, so I was getting ready to leave, so I'll see y'all on the next one. See you later.